Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Welcome to everyone. A special welcome to our champions, Dominic Darby, Deomar Wisdom, and Shafene Day. Welcome to all the students and parents joining us today. This is Seprod Foundation's Game Design webinar. We're here to celebrate our students who either won or were finalists in the Xprize Code Games Challenge, and to learn from each other and begin what we hope is a community of young video game designers. I am going to just go over a few housekeeping rules before we get started. We'd like you all to make sure that your names are your name, so you can rename yourself if it's not your name and your school. We'll be recording the webinar. So if you are here, you agree to be recorded. All attendees will be muted and will remain so throughout the webinar. So after we hear from each of our champions, you'll get an opportunity to ask questions. Please type your questions in the chat box. So we'll be using the chat box to communicate mostly. And Marvin of Halls of Learning, who is our host, he will be referring your questions to each of the champions that you would like to ask. We will ask that you please keep your comments and questions respectful. Anybody posting disrespectful comments will be removed. Additionally, we suggest gallery view for the best viewing experience. I will now introduce Seprod Foundation's chairperson, Melanie Sabrati, to share a bit more about Seprod Foundation and our role in bringing innovative learning experiences to children in Jamaica. Melanie?
Thank you very much, Lisa. Good afternoon, students and parents. Marvin Hall from Halls of Learning and his team. Thank you for being here today. Much of the work Seprod Foundation does is focused on bringing innovative learning experiences to children across Jamaica. For over 5 years, we've been doing workshops in primary schools twice a year to introduce students to coding. We would usually celebrate Scratch Month in May by teaching students to code on the Scratch platform, and each year we participate in the global movement of the Hour of Code during Computer Science Education Week in December. When physical schools closed and we were not able to do our usual workshops and students were not able to attend their usual summer activities, we wanted to offer something to students that you could do at home. Seprod Foundation became an outreach partner of the Code Games Challenge launched by the Xprize, an international video game design competition, and invited Jamaican students to register and participate. Halls of Learning helped us design this challenge. Some of you here answered that call and did very well in the competition. Congratulations to Dominic, Shafene, and Deomar. These are our very own Jamaican students performed better than over 800 students from over 70 countries. Seprod Foundation continues to look for opportunities to empower our students, so even in your downtime, you can continue to learn at your own pace. We'll be launching a series of STEAM challenges between now and the end of the year, including computational thinking challenges, virtual robotics, and another video game design challenge. So please stay tuned to our social media pages on Instagram and Facebook at Seprod Foundation for more information on what we have coming up. I would like to thank Halls of Learning, our partner on this and our upcoming STEAM challenges. The founder of Halls of Learning, Marvin Hall, is our host today. Marvin is a trained math teacher with a background in computer science and education technology, amongst many other things. He started his company, Halls of Learning, which focused on robotic education for K-12 students and offers online courses in coding, computer science, and other STEM subjects, including, obviously, robotics. Welcome, Marvin.
Thank you, Melanie. Had a slight screen loss there. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy to have you here. Happy to be here on behalf of Halls of Learning, along with the Halls of Learning team. And also happy especially to be here with Seprod Foundation to celebrate our finalists in the Xprize Code Games Challenge. You know, as Melanie mentioned, this was an international competition where yet again we had Jamaican students making it to the finals. Jamaican students showing the world that we are just as good once we're given the chance. And as we know and you know, video games are fun, but to actually make a video game takes a whole lot of work, takes a whole lot of thinking, takes a whole lot of planning, um, including coding. And so, you know, this was what our finalists were able to demonstrate by entering the competition. The competition itself, just for those of you who aren't familiar with it, it had different categories that you could enter in. Basically, two main categories. You could write the concept for a game, right? If you had an idea for a game and you could write it out and explain it on paper, then that would be the written game design section. And then you had the playable game section where you could choose different platforms to make a game, like Unity, which Deomar chose, and Scratch, which Dominic chose. But, you know, it was really good that we also had Shafene show her writing skills, show her imagination, and be able to excel in the written game design category. And I just want to highlight the written game design category because a written game design document is something that is the starting point for any video game that you see made out there in the industry, whether it's, you know, the Roblox platform or Fortnite or, you know, any of the games you play on Steam or Minecraft, whatever it is, a written document is a starting point. And so it's a good practice whenever you're going to create a game to actually start with a written game design document. And with that in mind, we want to start with our finalist in the written game design document section. That's Shafene. And she's going to tell us more, well, tell you more about her game, which was called Duro Double Life. And it was basically looking at environmental themes. Just a little bit about Shafene. She's 14 years old. She's in grade 8 at Holy Childhood High School. Big up Holy Childhood. She enjoys reading, singing, dancing, and playing games. And guess what? Her favorite game is Roblox. I'm sure many of you out there play Roblox and enjoy it. So let's welcome Shafene to the stage and give her the chance to speak about her game, Duro Double Life. Shafene, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. So why did I make this game? I made this game for environmental purposes. My game design document is about the environment, basically protecting the environment and seeing how much we can survive and how longer we can survive without polluting the air, land, sea, etc. And what did I learn? I learned more about gaming and creating, designing a game, different ways a game can be designed, more about the environment and how to protect the environment and respect it. What problems did I encounter? I can't make a game, so I did a written. This clip is similar to my written game design. My main inspiration, which is from Adventure Town. It's similar to my game because it has a way to protect the people and the environment. They do everything in their best to keep their village safe to survive and strive together. My game is just has less building, so it's more about educating the player about their environment and how to protect it. What would I do better? I would have created different stages for solutions, give the player different options, create more solutions for pollution. Example, air pollution. The main source of air pollution are in air industrial, motor vehicle emissions, open burning by individuals and businesses, garbage dumps, and bushfires. The solutions would be to reduce the number of trips you take in a car. Many people still use wood fire, so you can reduce or eliminate wood stove. And for the industrial, adopt new technology, efficient training of employees for safe use and development of better technology for disposal of waste, and being more conscientious about the use of raw materials can help control industrial pollution. So my game is for environmental purposes. The world needs a lot of environment changes. For those changes to happen, we need to educate both children and adults about the environment and how to protect it for a better living. The best way to start is through a game, because many people play games and it will reflect in real world experience. The encouragement of the game will make the player share it to others, and they too will be interested in learning and doing what they learn in real life. Let's stay connected. You can head over to my gaming Instagram and follow me there at daily.yt. My personal Instagram at Shafene_smiley. You can also go over to my YouTube channel and subscribe at Daily Swags, my TikTok at daily.edits, and add me on Roblox at Shamefree1 so that we can play together. You can contact me at shafeneday12@gmail.com. That's my email, and my Snapchat at Shafene_day19.
All right, that was awesome. Thank you so much, Shafene. I just want to remind everyone in the webinar that you can ask questions, type them inside the chat. We're going to be looking to the chat to hear if you have any questions, anything you want to say to Shafene. I see some congratulations. Bravo. So cool, Shafene. Go, Shafene. Let's get some more YouTube subscribers, right? Well done is coming in. Lots of applause from someone, Simeon Grant at George Headley Primary. So you're getting a lot of cheers in the chat. Any questions in the chat? Any questions for Shafene? Did you take down her contact information? Remember, she told you her Snap, her Insta, her Roblox, her youth, everything, right? So if you want to stay connected with her, that's one of the ways. All right, one of the things that Shafene has as a superpower, which she never mentioned, is that she's a really good writer. She actually won an essay competition. Is that right, Shafene?
Yes.
She won an essay competition in the past. So what I want everybody to understand is that as a writer and someone with good writing skills, you can get a start in the video game industry. Why? Because the video game creation or the video game creative process always starts with a written game design at some point, right? At the beginning, they create this written game design document. And so as Shafene said, she did not know how to make a game, but she knew how to write about a game. which was what we would call an excellent pivot, given the situation, right? She was able to use her writing skills to communicate what her game was about, and that brought her into the finalists, you know, from over 800 students, which is really awesome. This is what we're celebrating today. And I am ready for some questions, Shafene. Are you ready for some questions?
Yes, I'm ready.
You ready for some questions? Okay, my first question, Shafene. How many times you had to write over your game design document?
I had to write it over a lot of times. I wrote it in one book and I had to start writing it in another book because I had so many ideas. But each time I write it, I get new ideas and I'm saying, yeah, I can do better. So I write it over until I get the perfect idea.
That's awesome. And that also shows us, you know, that even when you are writing about a game, you have to go through several iterations, several times, several trials and errors, and not give up and keep on trying. And so that's one of the characteristics, one of the secret skills to also have, not giving up, right? And being willing to do things over and over and over until you get it right, until you get it to the way that you want it, just like Shafene had to do with her document. Shafene, my next, okay, so how long? See, we have a question from Zorian McDonald at George Headley Primary. She wants to know, how long did it take to get it right? We know that you did it a number of times, but how long did it take to get it to your final version?
2 months. Took me 2 months.
You guys heard that? 2 months, not 2 minutes, not 2 weeks, not 2 days, but 2 months of trying over and over and over. And some of you may notice that it takes 5 years on average to develop an actual video game. Some of these really top class games that you see out there, it's like a 5-year time period, right? We have a question from Dominic. He wants to know, why did you call it Duro Double Life?
I called it Dura Double Life because when the first word that came to my mind when I hear about environment was Duro. And I call the double life, it's because you're creating a village that's different from the actual life that you're living.
That's so cool. Tell me more about the Dura part. I understand the double life part. What's the Dura? Duracell? What? Or duration?
More about the environment.
Okay, awesome. Zorian McDonald has another question. She wants to know if you ever thought of giving up at any point. Did you feel like, well, how much time you tear up the paper? How many pages you tear out of the book and start over?
A lot of times, I did feel like giving up one of the time, but then I said, no, I can't give up. I cannot turn back because I have to finish what I started.
That's awesome. And we're going to have one final question from Deomar. He says, are you proud of your game?
Yes, I am proud of my game. Very proud, actually.
Let me sneak in one more question. What's the next thing you're going to, you wrote a game design document. Are you going to now settle on this award and, you know, you reach final so you can forget about the game, you put it down and, you know, put it on your shelf and get comfortable? Or are you going to keep trying and take it to the next level?
Take it to the next level, strive for the best.
All right, awesome. And we have Dominic saying that you should learn coding so you can actually make your game a reality. And I tell you, even though this is about coding, you could also make your game a reality, like as a board game or as a role-playing game. So there are many ways that you can translate that written game design document into a game. even if it's not a video game, right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Shafene. We are going to have our next finalist up, and that's Deomar Wisdom. Deomar, are you ready? I see you smiling. That means that you're ready.
Yes, sir.
You're ready. Okay, awesome.
All right. So
Let me tell them a little bit about you first.
Yes, sir.
All right. So Deomar hails from Brownstown High School. Right? He's 16 years old. He's a YouTuber. Right? His channel is called Cool Bean. So you know he must be a cool guy. Or at least wants to be a cool guy. No, he's a cool guy. He does his own graphic design, so he has graphic design skills. I know he has video editing skills, right? He loves English and math at school. And during his spare time, what does he do? Make stuff for his YouTube channel, right? Deomar's game was called The Coney's Legend. And he was a finalist in 2 categories. He was a finalist in the what they call the open platform of the senior division. That means it was a category where you could pick any game engine and make a game. And then he was also a finalist in the thematic category, because you could also enter a game under a different theme, right? So he was also a finalist in the environment theme. Okay, so his game won him 2 types of recognition, one as a playable game and another as a thematic game. So under a certain theme. I see Marcia Edwards with her hand up. We're gonna have a Q&A just after Deomar presents. So let me turn over to Deomar and let him start presenting, and then we'll have questions. All right, Deomar, over to you.
Hello. Wait, let me share my screen. So hello, I'm Deomar Wisdom, and my game is called The Coney's Legend. It's a game about Cece's family getting kidnapped by the evil zombies and farmers, and she's trying to save them so that the Coney race doesn't get extinct. Why I entered this competition because last summer my sister entered the animation competition for Nepal, and I just thought it would be a really cool idea to like expand on that knowledge. And also I also entered so that I could win a laptop for myself, so I could create more games and get better at it. And here is the gameplay of the game. Start off with Cece, and here's one of the evil zombies. And here is one of Cece's family member that you have to free, and the evil farmer. Oh. And you get the banana to recover more life. And then just like that, you beat the game. And that's pretty much all of the game. And this is a death screen. So this comes up when you die, and you can either replay or exit. And this is what happens when you beat the game. You can either replay, exit, or watch a special video explaining more about the Jamaican Connie. What I found challenging about this was finding like information on how to code, because GDevelop isn't such a big website. It's kind of hard to find tutorials on what exactly you need. And also I didn't know how to fix this bug with this immortal zombie. He comes back alive and you can't kill him. And things that I definitely could improve on was the how to play menu, because I made it a long time ago and now I can do a much better job. I learned how to develop my problem solving skills, how to research more, and how to make games better, or just make a game. And wait, let me move my screen. So this is where I got my characters and those stuff from. This is where I got my sound effects. And I went on the GDevelop website for tips on how to do certain things, because they help you on the website. And I also used YouTube to make it. And here's a link to all of the websites that I used. And thank you for watching my presentation. You can find me on YouTube. Here's my channel link. I can post it in the chat if you want. And here's my Roblox group where I have made like a few test games, and I'm planning on making more in the future. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Deomar. So I remember Marcia Edwards had her hand up, and I want to give her a chance to type her question in the chat. And in the meantime, Deomar, I would say all those links that you had on your last two slides, could you copy them and paste them in the chat? You had a set of links of resources.
Yes, sir.
If possible, please copy and paste them in the chat. And then also your contact information, can place it in the chat as well. And we have our first question from Shafene. She said, whoa. Somebody says, do you play Apex Legend?
Yes, of course. I play it on like 10 FPS.
Okay. But Shafene before that had asked, why did you make this game? She wants to know more about why you made that game.
Because as I said, because my sister entered the NEPA competition, I thought it would be cool to make a game version, and not a lot of people know about the Connie because they're like going extinct. So I just wanted to get that message out there.
Okay, that's awesome. Zamir McFadden from Angels Primary and Joshua Hamilton from St. Jago Prep. They have a question and they're asking, how did you feel when you made the game and it worked?
I felt amazing.
All right, well, I'm going to follow up. How long did it take you to feel amazing?
Well, 2 months.
2 months, okay. So 2 months, were you in school at the time? Were you like, what was your work schedule like? How many hours a day were you spending, or was it only on weekends, or was it when everybody gone to bed and you could get on the internet and with the best speed?
It was usually after online classes.
After online classes. So how did you have a timetable? Did you say, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to spend this time? Did you plan it out like that?
Not really. I just worked on it randomly because I had to keep the motivation while I had it.
Okay, so you worked while you were inspired. So what was it? What was the longest time block that you worked on it for? Because you surely had school the next day, so you couldn't stay up too late. Or did you ever work all night and then go to
No,
online
definitely
school,
no.
and then just sleep out online school?
Definitely like a week.
Or a week? Okay, but you didn't pull any all-nighters?
No, definitely not.
Oh, because you know that when you get into the game industry, you have to pull some all-nighters for maybe 2-3 days at a time. So you have to practice and get up that mental stamina from now. Okay, I see Sanique Hunt with her hand up. Sanique, can you type your question in the chat, please? There's a question from Layla Harding. How and where can I learn to code?
Well, if you're planning on using the GDevelop website, there's a lot of tutorials on YouTube to help you get started that cover general topics. And you can even go on the GDevelop website where they will walk you through how to make your first game. And even when you're just new to GDevelop, they will like give you some trial games that you could use, playable games where you can like change the characters, monsters, scenes, and those stuff. So to make it your own, change the music, animations, anything. It's really simple. You can get into it very easily.
Marvin, you're muted.
Sorry. GDevelop. Remember that, Layla. Samsung Galaxy Sol. Do you play Fortnite? I was going to say yes, but you said what the truth is.
I play it like sometimes because it lags a lot, just like Apex, and I'm not really good at it because of that.
All right. Let me see any more questions. Why did you choose that for your game? That's from Jotham at Mona High. I'm not sure what you meant. Well, okay. If you want to type that question again, Jotham, that'd be great, so we can know. Wow, I'm way behind on the questions. Dominic, chat is full. The chat is full, Deomar. Why don't you make some YouTube tutorials on GD script, since there isn't much on YouTube?
Well, I would, but my channel is mainly like Roblox, so it would the audience that I have might not like if I just switch from Roblox to GDevelop.
Or you can continue serving more than one audience.
Oh, sir. Maybe.
Simeon Grant wants to know if you got any inspiration from Roblox. I think we know the answer to that.
Definitely.
Yeah. How long did it take you? Well, 2 months. We know the answer. That was Zaquian Burke from Mount Joseph Primary. Okay, here's a question from Xavier McFadden in combination with Joshua Hamilton. What age did you start coding?
About like from from I was like 10, I would like go on websites where you could like make games and those stuff. And then I would do that for quite some time, then I just stopped. And then I just recently got back into the gaming creation.
Okay, awesome. This is from Zorian McDonald. Did you do the animation using the website, or did you have to do it on a different website?
The website GDevelop? If you're talking GDevelop,
I'm not sure.
I used Adobe Photoshop.
Use Adobe Photoshop to do the animations.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what were some of the software? This is my question. What were some of the software tools that you used apart from the website and apart from the website? Were there any software tool, like software on your computer that you used in the process?
Yes, Adobe Photoshop and Premiere Pro.
Okay, awesome. Okay, we are going to stop the questions there because we still have one more presentation to go. Thank you all for the questions so far. Deomar, please post your contact information in the chat, and then if you want, you can go into the chat and respond to some of the questions that people were asking that we
Thank you.
didn't get to finish up. I stopped at 4:41, so you can go in the chat and see where the questions came since that point. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Up next we have Dominic Darby. Dominic Darby was not only a finalist, but he won first place in the scratch category, which is a very big deal. That means he did well out of the 800 plus students, right? And then in his finalist category, his game was #1 in the junior division. So that's a really awesome accomplishment. Dominic is 11 years old, hails from Woolmer's Prep, and he's been coding since he was 5. So don't ask in the chat. No, you know, that's his secret. He's been coding since he was 5. He loves coding, playing chess, reading, tennis. He loves the Diary of the Wimpy Kid. All 4, 5. How many of them there now? 5 of them or 6. Jeff Kinney. And he loves building games such inside of Roblox. He wants to learn more about computer technology and pursue a career in that field. And also his favorite subject is science, but I think his favorite subject might be computer science. Anyway, without further ado, let me hand over to Dominic and let him start his presentation. Dominic, over to you.
Hi, and thank you. I will be starting my presentation. Okay. Hi. Hi. My name is Dominic Darby, and I'm here to tell you all about my game, How to Fall. See, How to Fall is a platformer where you run and jump through the levels while avoiding all deadly obstacles, like spikes, to reach the exit of the game. I made this game because I love coding, and it gave me an opportunity to create a new world. I was able to design how I wanted it to look and determine what the player could do in my game. In my game, How to Fall, the player has to overcome the obstacles/challenges to reach the last level and complete the game. In playing How to Fall, the player will feel a sense of frustration while with each level, but will feel a sense of accomplishment after beating each level. My favorite aspect of How to Fall is the replayability. This is what will let the player continue playing and replaying the game over and over. Let me share with you a few terms that are important in game development. What is coding? Coding is the language that computers use to receive and carry out instructions. What is a script? A script is basically where you place the code. It is what actually makes something happen in the game. What is a sprite? A sprite is a character or object in the game. What did I learn? Well, while I was making the game, I got a better understanding of how to make code that was more advanced and sophisticated. How to Fall is actually the first game I've ever created. Well, the first full game. What problems did I encounter? Well, it was both a challenging and exciting process to create the game. But along the way, there was bound to be some major bugs that messed up the game. One major bug was the animation bug. And it was a run jump animation thing. I just couldn't get it to work. I was able to correct the bug, however, by placing the running animation and the jumping animation in separate scripts. What would I do better? If I were to do this game all over, I would definitely include some better artwork. I would I drew all the sprites except for the clouds and the donuts, which I imported from scratch. I'm going to show you some of the coding that I did to create my game. I will be looking at the we will be looking at the coding to die and go through levels in my game. See, right here, when the sprite touches the spikes, they die, but in how I coded it is if the sprite or the player touches the spike sprite, set coordinates X and Y to the start of the level, and then stop moving. This is how dying works now. I mean, not dying works, exiting the level. When the sprite reaches the exit at the end of the level, they go to another level. We know this, okay? But here's how it works inside the game. If player is touching the exit, change level by 1, set X and Y coordinates to the start, and then stop moving. Now, I'm going to show you me coding a donut right here into the game. So watch closely. This right here is a forever loop. So if the level is ever 2, this donut is going to show there. Now watch, you see the donut appears as soon as I activate the script. So we know that's working. And I can easily import anything into the game just by doing simple things like this. Now, here's a little, let's play of how it works. And yeah, thank you. You can play How to Fall, another game created by me on Scratch. My username is Domdua. And you can also check out my Roblox, Deluxe Penguin, Deluxe_Penguin, as you can see right there. And thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Dominic. Thank you, Dominic. You're getting lots of compliments. This game is amazing. I see Shafene asking, what was your main goal for creating your game? And somebody's asking for Robux, but you're not sending any Robux. Sorry, Xavier.
So what was your main goal for creating your game? You mean my main idea?
Well, you can answer. What was your main idea?
So my main idea was like some kind of Mario kind of game, like platformer. You jump, 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 then the flagpole in the flagpole in Mario is like the exit door in my game.
Okay, so you wanted to create a game like a platformer like Mario, right?
Yes.
But why did you make the platformer in the way that you did?
So it can have like a cartoony look. So it looked like a cartoon instead of like real life.
Okay, cool. So 3 questions. How long did it take you? How did you find Scratch? And what was the hardest part to figure out?
How long it took me to make the game? Like a couple of days. But how long it took me to have the idea of a platformer? Now that was like a month or 2, because I was going through so many games before I thought, hey, how about I make a platformer? What was the second question?
The second question was, let me see. Well, somebody wants to know how they would find your game. So the answer to that question is that it's on Scratch. So look up, go to Scratch type Scratch in Google and then type in his username, which is Dom.
In fact, I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. In fact, put the link to your game in the chat from Scratch. All right. So how long did it take you? Why did you make the game? We answered that. How did you find out about Scratch? And do
Well,
you like to use it a lot?
yes, and I found Scratch about, well, 5 years ago. No, 6 years ago. When I was 5, when I was entering a coding course for making websites and coding, Scratch. So I found out about Scratch and I started making these little animation things about pizza and stuff. Uh, I don't know what I was doing. I was like 5 or something. Don't know why pizza was the first thing that came off my head, but hey, it was there.
Okay, what is your Roblox username? He'll type it in the chat. Did you use code.org before using Scratch? Or how did you learn coding? I think he answered that at a camp. Somebody wants to give you Robux. The Marco Brett with 1 million Robux, he says, wants to give you.
Robux, that's like $1,000.
Let me see. Are you willing to post a game on other platforms? Kashka is asking.
I am actually. Most of the huge platforms, since I'm 11, can't use Unity because 13 plus and all that. So I've been looking at this platform called Godot, but since it's not the most popular platform like GD Script, it doesn't really have that much tutorials.
All right, we have another question. What was the hardest part to figure out while you're making the game?
The equations, okay? I needed to figure out when they were on the ground and when they were in the air, so I can figure out when they should jump.
So would you say that was math or logic or what? When you said equations, tell us more.
It's kind of a mix of physics and math. A little bit of physics, a lot of math.
Okay. Shafene wants to know if you're going to make more games like this.
I was thinking of that, yes. I probably have to find a new 2D game making site because I'm not really into 3D game making thing yet. I'm learning it, watching tutorials, reading books. Probably going to start with Roblox on 3D. But yeah, I'm going to stick with 2D games until I really, learn 3D.
Okay. Liam wants to know if you have ever tried making a game on Roblox. Zorian wants to know if you ran into any viruses while you were making the game.
Well, I have tried making a game on Roblox, but apparently Lua is a very hard thing to learn. Lua scripting. Did I encounter any viruses? Not yet. But with my luck, I probably will. Trying to download some free stuff. That's one of
Okay.
the main reasons I drew everything. So, because I was looking for pictures for the exit door, and I was like, bad things can happen if a virus ended up on my computer, so I just drew it.
Okay, awesome. So I'm just gonna ask one last question. This is from Ricardo. There are still about 57 new messages in the chat. So I'll let you go in there and try and answer some of them. But Ricardo wants to know, how did you feel about being the winner in your category?
I felt kind of chill. It's not like I expected it though, because I was like, there's gonna be people with some huge math complicated intellectual super high quality games that will probably just whoop me out of the competition. But when I heard I was a finalist and I won, I was like, huh, what happened to the 800 people who were gods at coding? Who, how did I win? But honestly, I was kind of chill about it. I didn't go like, how did I win? I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yes, humility is good. Um, Absolutely. And you know, to not get comfortable and keep pushing for more. So thank you so much, Dominic. Jump in the chat, see what people are saying and see if you can answer them. We're at 5 o'clock. Want to try and keep the time. Let me see if I can bring Deomar back on stage and Shafene back on stage one last time. And you know, we're gonna close off now. I'm gonna invite Lisa Doyen or Melanie Sobrati to give some, if they wanted to give any final words. But before I invite them back on, I just wanted to encourage our 3 finalists to keep pushing, stay humble, and you know, try and improve what you have created, because it's just a start, right? To all you out there coming to support and encourage and cheer them on, thanks for doing that. But you know, notice a lot of the skills that went into making their games, the determination, the never giving up, the being creative, the doing things over and over until until they got it right. And you know, really being passionate about something. You know, the video game industry is full of opportunity in different roles. So you could be a writer, you could be a coder, you could be a graphic designer, you could be, you know, a level designer. I mean, there are a number of things that you can get involved in. And so the advantage that all of you have is that you can start practicing your different skills from now. As Deomar and Dominic shared in terms of their resources, there's a lot of free stuff out there, lots of videos, lots of ways that you can, you know, get involved. You know, I'm sure Shafene also used some of her own artistic drawings in explaining her video game concept inside of the document. You know, so there's just a world of possibility out there for you in this creative video game creation space. So, you know, on behalf of the House of Learning and the House of Learning team, I just want to thank you for allowing me to host. It's been fun. Hope it got to answer most of your questions. And we'll see you in the code. All right, over to Lisa or Melanie to wrap it up.
I'm going to steal the spot because a lot of times I just wanted to say thank you to Marvin, to Shafene, to Dominic, Deomar, but also to Lisa and Melissa, because a lot of times they don't get the thank yous that they perhaps deserve at Seprod Foundation, because they did a lot of work with, you know, the administration of the competition, a lot of back and forth, and, you know, finding the right prizes for people. I wanted to big up Marvin and his Halls of Learning team for all the stuff that we all do together. And I wanted, the next thing that's coming up is something called the Poly Up Challenge. I think Marvin has a flyer for it. I don't know if it's the final version that he can drop in the chat. Marvin, is that something you can do so that we can point people to a challenge that we have coming up. Yes, so I'd like to thank everyone. And if you would also like, in the chat, we'll leave it open for another few minutes, but if you would like to put anything in there for other webinars that you might like to hear from, you know, we're trying to create a community and to make sure that we support all the people that are interested in game design, in coding, in computational thinking. And so, you know, let us know what you would like to hear about or what you're interested in. So thank you very much. Thank you all. And also thank you to the people who joined. All of the comments were awesome. And I love the fact that everyone was incredibly supportive of each other. That's great. Thank you very much. And congratulations.
You're welcome.